All right, we are live and welcome. Let me just make sure that it's coming up on the screen. Yep, we're here. We did it.
Okay.
Perfect. Welcome everyone to Intuitively Tuned In with Kaileen Cox. That's me and my great friend Joan Upton. All right, we are live and welcome. Hold on. Let me just. Okay, sorry, it started making noise.
Little microphone feedback.
Yeah. Spirit's playing with us. Anyway,
we are learning. Yeah.
So my great friend Joan Upton, who is a psychic medium. So let's start off right from the bat. What does being a psychic medium mean to you?
What the hell does it mean?
Yeah.
Well, it just means that I connect with people on the other side. And I just act as a channel for them to give information through me to whomever is sitting in front of me. And it's actually something that we all do, right? We all talk to people that we love that have passed, animals that we love that have passed.
Absolutely.
We all do it. I always just say to people, we get messages all the time from those folks that once lived here on planet Earth with us. We just don't trust it, or we don't know what we're paying attention to, maybe.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I love that because I mean, you even mentioned that you are a channel. You know, so many times people are like, this is your one box that you're in, right? Psychic means you do this, and no,
right.
We all are doing everything.
we all are doing everything. And I think that some of us have a more tuned up or tuned in gift in different ways. For instance, I mostly hear. That's my strongest gift. There are plenty of people out there that do the work that we do that have a better time communicating with animals than they do with people. I'm always envious of the psychics and the psychic mediums that will have like the spirits just boom into the room where they can see them like I can see you. It happens sometimes for me, but not all the time. And so we all have a different way of giving the message.
Absolutely. And I think I resonate with you a lot. Like most of the time it comes through hearing or like body sensations, but not necessarily like I see all the loved ones sitting in the room, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It actually makes me think of one of the first times we like traded readings.
Yeah.
And you were like, girl, why do they come in such riddles? That's the way it's supposed to. And you're like, no, not if you don't want it to be. And I was like, right? Like that just blew my mind. It was such amazing, simple advice. And I was like, oh, you're right. Joan's right.
Well, I just know that when I really started tuning in and actually doing this work, that I would be bombarded with messages. And because my gift is mostly hearing, it would just be like chatter in my head all the time. It made me crazy, or it would come in my dream world and it would make me nuts. And I finally just had to say, listen, spirit, like, I gotta turn you off right now. I'm at a party.
Yep.
Unless there's an emergency, just let me be. I don't want to work right now. And then I also got really firm about when I know that I'm going to do a specific reading for a client. I just got really firm with them. I will ask you for the messages when I'm ready to receive the messages. Otherwise, it's just
right
all the time, and I don't have my pen and paper necessarily.
Right. Absolutely. And then you're like, oh shoot, I got to remember this. Right.
Shoot. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Having healthy boundaries is such an important, it's the first step, I feel like.
It is.
What would you say to anyone watching this right now that maybe has heard messages, but maybe doubts themselves or anything? Where would you start? Where would you head towards? Where's your gut leading you to answer that question?
Well, I think the first thing that you have to do if you want to begin to receive messages or be open to receiving messages. Whether it's from angels, whether it's from spirit guides, whether it's from loved ones that have passed, whomever it is, whatever you call spirit, love, God, whatever you call that, you have to go ahead and make that leap of faith.
Absolutely.
And say, if you're willing to receive the messages, then you have to be willing to trust that whatever comes through is a message.
Right.
And that might be you seeing something out of your peripheral vision. That might be a song that all of a sudden comes on the radio when you're like, oh, that might be a feeling that you have in your body, chills, or you may feel maybe a hand on your shoulder or a hand holding your hand, or you get an image in your head of something. You have to trust because spirit's really gentle with us most of the time, because spirit realizes that if they shocked us with something, or something wildly big and bold came through, it would scare the hell out of us. And then we're like, nope, I don't need to do that. Right. And I think that you and I probably have both had the experience with spirit where they've been knocking, sort of on our window for so long, and us not paying attention, where they're like, okay, we're just gonna have to like sit on her, like we're gonna have to like have her not breathe for 2 seconds or something. Like, we're trying to get your attention.
Right.
So spirit's gentle.
I love that. I totally agree as well. I think that's a beautiful way to put it, because so many times I feel like people are wanting that aha moment, that like, oh my God, earth shattering moment, but then it happens and they're terrified of it. So it's like, why not just open the conversation like an easy conversation with a friend, right?
I always remind spirit too, like when I'm asking for help with something, I'll always say, listen, like you don't need to break anything, or it doesn't need to be scary or painful or anything. I want to, like, through joy, let's do this.
Yes.
Right? Because I think you and I have both said to spirit, I'll give you an example. I was saying a prayer about, it was relationship stuff. And I said, why can't you just be clear with me? Why can't I just have a clear damn yes or no? Why? Right. And my eyes are closed, and I said, why can't a damn hawk just show up in the tree? And I pointed my hand out there when I open my eyes. Why? I literally open my eyes and there's a damn hawk in the tree.
Of course there is.
Right? So if you want that big, bold thing, you can ask for it, but be damn ready.
Right. Absolutely. And I feel like so many times when we're first starting off, or even well into it, we might be like, this is the sign I want. And then we're like, ooh, wait, no, let's get it 4 more times and then I'll agree. Right.
Oh, I do that with, I throw myself a few tarot cards every morning, and I'll, if I'm asking a question and I don't like the answer, I'm like, no, wait, let's clarify that. And then 30 cards later, I'm still not satisfied.
Right. And then you're like, oh, it was the first card.
That was the first card. Yeah.
So that's a great lead in. So as a psychic medium, what tools do you turn to? Of course, all you really need is your clairsenses and your connection. Right. But what tools do you turn to? What aids in your magic of life?
So I use tarot cards quite frequently in readings. Whenever I know that I have a reading scheduled with somebody, I do what I call prayer work first, and just ask for that person's guides, angels, loved ones to come through with messages of love and inspiration. And then I ask that my ego be checked so that I can hear and see clearly. And then I just kind of scribble down what's downloaded to me. And then I generally will pull 3 or 4 tarot cards just to kind of see if it feels all on track. So I'll use tarot cards. Really, that's pretty much the only tool that I use during a reading, if I use them at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, I definitely remember you pulling cards when I first got readings from you. I still remember some of the messages you know, like that's how I know. It's just so profound because I can think back to, I don't think you would remember this, but before I got married, you're like, you're gonna get a blue handkerchief. And I was like, that's random. Right? And of course, a few days before my wedding, I got a blue handkerchief.
Blue
and
handkerchief.
the day after, no one could find this handkerchief. So it's like it magically disappeared, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. I think I do remember the blue handkerchief thing, but I don't remember. And I don't know if you have the experience of sometimes when you read for people and then they'll retell the story months and months later, what you said. And I'm like,
Right. Got nothing. You have no memory because
I have no clue
like
that I said that to you.
you're not really in it for the messages for yourself. They're the messages for other people. I always say that, right? Like this is all for you. I sever ties that or
Well, and
unplug.
I think that you get into sort of a beautiful bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you're in a zone and
Absolutely.
you're just clear. And like you said, the messages are for the other person. And I know that spirit sometimes says to me during a reading, when I ask a specific question, sometimes they say to me, that's none of your business.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. That's so interesting.
I
And that
know.
brings to the point, like sometimes people really want an answer right now, and it's simply just not the time, right? It's just what they are energetically ready for. Would you agree with that?
Well, and I always say to them, you know, you can show up with me with your list of questions and I will entertain them and ask them, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get an answer on that because spirit's going to talk to you about what they think you most need right now.
Right. Right.
You know, you may
Ooh, I
want
have
to talk
chills
about,
everywhere.
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
You may want to talk about your new boyfriend, but spirit's like, we got to get your financial shit together here,
Right.
sister.
Right.
Or you better heal that relationship with your mom, or, you know, so yeah, it's always like that. And I mean, I've had readings for myself with other people, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, what? And they're like, well, clearly
Yeah.
they want to talk about that.
Right. Of course, because you know you're so zoomed in on something and they're like, step back, let's look at the big picture.
Step back.
Right?
Yeah. It's well, and just as you said, Kai, you're not going to get the information until you're ready to receive the information. And I frequently get that people will often want to ask, when is grandma going to die? She's been sick for 9 months. When is she going to die? Sometimes it's crystal clear. Sometimes they'll say to me, probably in about 3 days. But they won't say that unless the person already has sort of the knowing of it, I believe.
Right.
Because who the hell wants to hear that?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's actually funny that you say that. Oh, we have people saying hi, hello, and welcome. It's funny that you say that because so often I actually kind of pulled away from the word psychic because people are like, tell me my fortune. I'm like, well, I'm not a fortune teller.
Nope.
So
Nope.
do you find that happens for you or?
I guess so. And a psychic is not a fortune teller.
Right.
Having said that, I do believe that there are plenty of people out there who have the gift of prophecy and can foretell future events. That's not me, but a psychic reads the energy of that person at this moment in time. Here's what's going on. The energy of you want to know about so-and-so over here. Here's the energy of that person right now. And we all have free will. So
Absolutely.
to be sort of called a fortune teller or be able to read the future, it's a misnomer. We have free will. We can change our future in the next second if we just make another decision.
I love that. That is so beautifully put. So you've talked a little bit about how you do one-on-one, but you also do group readings and you do collective readings, right? So it's perfect that we're doing this. You're my first guest and it's June because we just sent out, especially to the Facebook group, your collective reading. Do you want to share anything about that for June?
For June, if I remember correctly, June was the I drew a tarot card for that, the 6 of Cups.
Yes.
And June is all about a month of reconnecting. So you might find old lovers coming back into your life. You might find old friends that connect with you again. Old business relationships, partnerships that come back into your life. And then the beauty of it all is that you get to decide, yeah, I want to hook up again, or no.
Right.
I've learned what I needed to learn from you, and you can be free. And it's Gemini season too, right? June heralds Gemini season, which is the twins, the
Right.
opposite. Let's look at your shadow, and let's look at your sunshine.
Absolutely. And I think you had mentioned kind of like playing in both, right?
Playing and feeling like a child again, which is also very Six of Cups energy. It's that playful energy of it's childlike energy. It's the reconnection, right, of the past. It's bringing the past and the present together.
Yes.
Plus, May was so damn heavy with the eclipse and the two full moons, and it's been kind of crazy energy. And so I hope everybody feels like they're smoothing out a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I know a lot of people had mentioned to me that like this Mercury retrograde was like extremely tough. Yeah. And, you know, there was just a lot energetically going on in May. So how perfect that it's June and time to play and gentle with yourself, right?
Be gentle with yourself always, but
of course.
but I think when you are looking at people or situations or circumstances that are, you know, coming back around for a replay or redo, that you sort of go inward and look at the wisdom that you've accumulated since you've last been in this situation or this relationship, so that, you know, maybe you want to respond differently this time. Yes. Or maybe you recognize that this person or this circumstance has changed, and you're willing to see what happens, explore with some curiosity, like a child.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. It makes me think of, you know, sometimes we are given an opportunity to like be seen or speak up for ourselves, and we don't necessarily take it at that chance. And then if people are coming back into it, it might be the time to try speak up for yourself or be seen. It might not, right? You have to feel where you are vibrationally.
Right. It's sometimes it's an opportunity to hold a boundary. Sometimes it's an opportunity to take one of those damn bricks off your brick wall.
Ooh, yes.
Right? Because sometimes we hang on to things just too dang tightly.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in Central Time at 2:22, which is perfectly planned. Absolutely divine, right?
Right.
So if anyone out there is watching this wants to get a hold of you, I'll of course put in the comments, but what's the best way for them to connect with you or to book with you?
So the easiest way to connect with me is just to send me an email at info@joanupton.com.
Perfect. And do you have any classes, workshops, or big things coming up for people to look forward to?
I don't have anything right now in the immediate future, but I am planning an online course, and then I'm working with another gal to do a workshop that'll probably be coming up in the fall. But I don't have anything that's immediate. It's summer, and I'm gonna play a little.
Yep. I love that. That is the way to go, right? Absolutely.
Right?
Well, perfect. Thank you so much again for being my first guest. And if you ever want to come back on and maybe pull a tarot card for us or something, you are always welcome.
Thank you, honey. You know I love you.
I love you too. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.